The New York Fed pledges to offer $1 trillion a day in overnight repo loans. The New York Federal Reserve said it will make up to $1 trillion available for loans in repo market for the remainder of this week. If you guys miss my episode I did with George talking about what will happen to the economy, go check it out. There's a link below this video. It's actually going to be pinned as a comment. Really listen to that episode. So what the Fed is doing. The Fed said it will offer up $500 billion in overnight repos. Then in addition, do another $500 billion, so morning and evening. So that's $1 trillion a day in repos that they're printing out. So this isn't even quantitative easing anymore. This is literally printing machine goes, brrr. This is unlimited money, MMT theory, modern monetary theory in full swing over here. And this is not good news, not good news at all. I don't want to be the burden of bad news, but the reality is the government has put us in a fucked up position. The Fed has been destroying the value of the dollar, and things are about to get really ugly. So looking at this, the global economy won't bounce back anytime soon. In February, the general consensus between large investment banks and supranational entities was there would be a one-time hit to the GDP in the first quarter due to the impact of the coronavirus, followed by stronger V-shaped recovery. The IMF, so International Monetary Fund, expected a modest correction of global GDP of 0.1%. The largest cut on estimates for 2020 growth was only 0.4. Well, those days are gone. Like ridiculous. So what they're doing right now, like I mentioned with the repo, their calls for larger fiscal packages. The shutdown of developed economies is now granted and will likely take us more than a couple of weeks to feel. The latest wave of downgrades already assume a large-scale stimulus. The economic implications of the pandemic will not be solved with massive spending increase. See, this is the key right here. They think they're going to buy their way out of this. They're not. They can't replicate what they did in 2008. 2008 with the financial crisis, with the shitty bonds and the mortgages, what they did, once again, turned on the printing machine, brrr, goes a printing machine, and they gave it to their buddies for almost something like 2-3% fucking loan, and they're doing buybacks. So if you look from '08, whether it's the Dow, whether it's the S&P, the value appreciation was ridiculous. Everyone was doing stock buybacks. So this is what we see right now is you can only print so much money before all the leveraged assets, the fragile economic system they created completely collapses. Yeah, so what do you do from here? You know, the Fed is printing money on a daily basis. Right now in Canada, 500,000 people just went into EI. United States is predicting even high of up to 20% of people will be unemployed. Canada, the same thing. Think about it. We as North Americans, we are a service economy. We're not a manufacturing economy. China's a manufacturing economy. Events, restaurants, anything to do with service-based, it is completely been shattered. So this is a time not to be fearful. This is a time not to be sucked up in the pandemonium. Yes, the stock market's fucked. Yes, it's going to take a couple of years for the economy to fix itself. But what matters here the most, guys, is going back to the grassroots of what it means to be a human, connecting back to community, connecting with your family. If you haven't picked up the phone, call your parents, call your brother, call your sister, call anybody in your family. We need to connect back together as it was meant to be because we're social tribal creatures. I really do hope this is a wake-up call for people to really understand and realize that the reason why we're in this mess to begin with is because we have the most incompetent people in power, highly incompetent. Their intelligence level is zero. The only reason they're career politicians, and takes a certain type of egotistical maniac to crave that type of power to dictate to you what to do. Remember, politics is an act of aggression. It's not an act of peace. It's not an act of I want to do better things for you. No, it's my way or the highway. I want votes so I can go into power to propagate and instigate my policies so I can push that on you. If people really care, like these politicians said, I really care about people, go work at the soup kitchen, go start a business, actually do something that's proactive, that creates value, that solves problems in the world, as opposed to I need your vote because I'm smarter than you. No. We have very incompetent leaders, highly incompetent leaders, and they're screwing all this up. So hopefully this is a wake-up call for everybody out there to realize the government's not on your side. The government should be working for us. It's the other way around, right? Now we are becoming cattle. People really forget the only reason government has power because we give the government power, specifically here in the West. We vote them in or they take our taxes. We need to start becoming smarter who we elect. We need to start becoming smarter on everything, all aspects of society. I was talking about the fact that I think this is also a great precipice where we will see the decoupling of the life of a metropolitan city. I think large cities are cancers. You have 10 million people in the city. Nobody knows anybody. The cost of living is ridiculous. You have no support, not good for your health, both physical health, spiritual health, and mental health. People will opt out and leave the cities. And so this is a fair warning for you guys. Don't panic, but let's reconnect as families. Let's reconnect as community. Let's come together and figure out how we solve this problem ourselves, as opposed to looking for handouts. You know, government's going to come knocking on your door and be like, hey, here's some UBI. Yeah, it's good in the short term. Everything, there is no free lunch, as Milton Friedman says. Everything comes with consequences. There is no, in nature, you cannot have a free lunch. For every action, there's a reaction. You know, this goes against the first laws of thermodynamics. You cannot just fucking destroy energy. Energy has to transform into a different state. And so if you think for a second that this handout of UBI will not come with any conditions, mind you, it will come with many conditions. So let's come back together as a community to help each other out. You know, if you have the means right now to help somebody that doesn't have a job, help them out. If you have the means to help somebody out when it comes to food, help them out. And the third thing, we all have the means for this. All of us have the means to help people spiritually, emotionally right now. So call people, just ask them, how you doing, man? You know, a phone call or even a text message goes a long way. Trust me, it goes a long, long way when you know somebody is there that's listening, that has your back. And I'll leave it at that, guys. You know, bottom line, we're in for a very, very long stretch of economic recovery, and let's come together. Let's help each other out, and we'll get through this. That's it, guys. Like, let's go back to grassroots, man. Building small communities and tribes, help each other out. If you guys have a comment for me, leave a comment below this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.